We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. and right now millions of Americans are heading home for the holidays. This Thanksgiving is expected to be one of the busiest travel periods in years. Coming up, we'll take you to BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport to see how things are moving at the security checkpoint. And if you're hitting the roads, things should be dry. The rain that we saw yesterday has finally moved out. Coming up, your Thanksgiving forecast plus a closer look at Black Friday. And it just got easier to get a gun in Maryland. We'll take a closer look at the reaction still coming into that late-breaking ruling from the federal court gutting one of Maryland's new gun laws. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. The holiday travel rush is well underway. Lines at BWI Airport are starting to pick up just a bit. This was the scene there earlier this morning as people were rushing to see their family. We spoke with two travelers who say they got to the airport early so they could avoid any delays.
We booked these tickets
months ago, and I was worried because everybody kept saying this is like the worst day to travel, and then we get here and
There's
perfectly
nobody here.
fine. It's empty. There's nobody here.
Uber driver said all the crowds are coming in after noon. So we were pleased to find that there are very few people here.
Well, lines this morning may have not been bad, but that could change as the day goes on. AAA expects this to be one of the busiest Thanksgiving travel periods in years, and the Northeast is home to the busiest and most congested part of the country in terms of travel. A live look at the flight map right now. As the day has gone on, we have seen more issues popping up at airports. Here in Baltimore, there are currently about 48 flights that are delayed. For comparison, last year, we had more than 5,000 flight delays on Tuesday, which combined with today are the two busiest pre-Thanksgiving travel days. If you are hitting the road today, instead of taking to the skies, consider this. The busiest travel times are predicted to be between 2 and 6 this evening in most places. And if you're hitting the road or flying today, some good news for you. The weather system that we have been tracking all week is moving out. It shouldn't cause any problems for you. Just in, City Police say they have arrested a Baltimore man accused of sexually assaulting a 71-year-old woman in Lincoln Park. 46-year-old Charles Avon Taylor is charged with the November 7th attack. He is facing multiple charges, including assault, reckless endangerment, and kidnapping. Now to a new ruling from a federal appeals court that is making it easier for people in the state to get guns. The ruling is tossing out Maryland's handgun licensing law, calling it unconstitutional. That ruling has ignited a firestorm of debate. Shannon Lilly brings us a closer look at the responses and what the ruling means for Marylanders.
Well, response over this ruling, it is still pouring in. A federal appeals court determined that a key component of Maryland's gun laws is unconstitutional, and they have ordered the state to stop enforcing that law immediately. So we want to take a look here at the changes. Under the handgun qualification license, Marylanders purchasing handguns were required to first undergo a background check, attend a gun safety course, and wait up to 30 days for state approval before anyone could own a handgun. That will no longer be the case. In a 2-to-1 ruling, the appeals court wrote that, quote, the challenge law restricts the ability of law-abiding adult citizens to possess handguns. But even though Maryland's law does not prohibit plaintiffs from owning handguns at some time in the future, it still prohibits them from owning handguns now.
Well, it tells me that the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals got it exactly right. The state has no right to impede your ability of a law-abiding citizen to get a handgun in Maryland to defend themselves.
So Congressman Andy Harris there called the decision a victory for Maryland. Senate President Bill Ferguson, though, he predicts it will leave Maryland more dangerous. He writes in a statement, quote, this decision will unequivocally lead to more gun violence and firearm-related deaths. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott wrote, quote, in a time where the proliferation of firearms is threatening the safety of our communities, we should be more, not less careful about who has access to these tools of violence. Now, the state has yet to indicate whether or not they will appeal this ruling. Shannon Lilly, Fox 45 News, midday.
One of the biggest frustrations among residents with gun legislation in Maryland is a lack of regulation on illegal guns. Legal gun owners tell Fox 45 News they have to sit through 16 hours of classes to obtain a wear and carry permit, and the permit costs about $400. Meanwhile, law enforcement says illegal guns are often obtained within minutes.
They're stealing them from vehicles, they're stealing them from stores, smash and grabs. They are committing crimes with guns that are acquired in an illegal manner to begin with. And it's a huge, huge problem.
According to the ATF, more than 7,000 handguns were stolen last year in Maryland. There is new information this morning about the second arrest in the mass shooting at Morgan State University. We are learning a Fox 45 viewer may have helped police track down the suspect. Investigators say after Javon Williams was the subject of Maryland's Most Wanted in a previous broadcast, they received tips that he was a known member of the notorious D.C. gang, the Kennedy Street Crew. The viewer said Williams was still in the area committing crimes. Both Morgan State shooting suspects were captured in D.C., where Mayor Muriel Bowser just declared a public emergency on youth crime. At a D.C. council meeting last night, lawmakers approved a formal public emergency through February 15th. It frees up resources for the city's Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services, and it gives the mayor emergency powers. But not all council members agreed with the decision.
We have to move forward, I believe, in a way that allows the executive to move quickly.
Just waving a magic wand and saying the mayor should have all power here without more information provided is pretty dangerous.
Fox 45 News pressed Mayor Brandon Scott and mayoral candidate Sheila Dixon about whether a similar declaration should be made here in Baltimore.
Let's remember, everybody, that D.C. is a city that's governed differently than ours and any other city in the country. Essentially, D.C. is a city and a state at the same time. They control a whole manner of juvenile systems that we don't, because we have the fabulous state of Maryland, like juvenile service, like social service, like CPS. All of those things are not under the preview of the mayor.
It's gotten out of control, and we've waited so long before we started dealing with this sooner, which we should have when we saw a trend. When we saw 5 cars being stolen or 5 carjacks, we should have gotten on it and figured out what we needed to do to stop it.
Well, you can see their full responses by heading to our website, foxbaltimore.com. We are following breaking news out of the Middle East. Israel and Hamas have made a hostage deal. The government of Qatar says that the two sides have agreed to a 4-day ceasefire that will allow humanitarian aid to come in and allow 50 hostages held by Hamas in the Gaza Strip to be released. Hamas says in exchange, Israeli forces will release 150 Palestinian prisoners. CNBC reports from a senior U.S. administration official the hostages could include 3 Americans. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. Still ahead, we're talking family drama at the dinner table. Coming up, 5 topics you may want to avoid this Thanksgiving to help keep the peace. Chipotle is changing its name, sort of. Coming up, how tweets from 13 years ago are prompting the change. And just days after his firing, Sam Altman is back at OpenAI. Coming up, a closer look at the about face and what spurred it.
So, weather story for today, we'll see a mix of clouds and sun on your Wednesday. Breezy and a bit warmer for the afternoon, and then those temperatures are going to be back above average for the day as well. Should top out close to 60 for a lot of us. Overnight lows drop into the 40s, and not a bad Thanksgiving with numbers back to the upper 50s. Back with your full forecast in just a few.
11:10 now, making headlines. Today marks the 60th anniversary of President John F. Kennedy's assassination. On this day in 1963, President Kennedy was in a convertible limo in Dallas, Texas, when he was shot from a 6th-floor window. The FBI later said Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone shooter. Taking a look now at your social stream. Just days after his surprise firing, Sam Altman is going back to lead OpenAI. In an overnight statement, the company announced Altman's return alongside a new board. Some OpenAI employees threatened to quit and follow Altman to Microsoft if the previous board did not change its mind and bring him back. Both parties have reportedly agreed to an investigation into the events that led to Altman's firing. Here's your reaction to it. Wow, this has been the biggest twist and turn we've experienced in the tech industry in a while. Glad you're back to leading OpenAI now. Another person, Sierra, saying, I do hope to see some formal statements detailing what exactly just happened. The public is very concerned and deserves answers. Some of Travis Kelce's old tweets are inspiring Chipotle to rename one of their Kansas City locations. In one 2011 tweet uncovered by Swifties, the football star talked about loving the chain, but he misspelled Chipotle. He flipped the T and the L. So now Chipotle is taking the spelling mistake and using it to their advantage, modifying their sign at a Kansas City location to read as Chipotle instead. A lot of people seeming to have fun with this one. Tyler saying, LOL, respect to Chipotle for this one. Another one saying, at least Chipotle knows how to have fun with it, LOL. Well, Operation Santa is underway at the U.S. Postal Service. This week marks the earliest kickoff ever for the 111-year-old Christmas gift program. It helps ensure children's letters to Santa make it to elves and human helpers who assist with gifts. Kids can send their letters to Santa. The Postal Service says that address, 123 Elf Road, North Pole, 88888. Here's what you're saying. Ellen said, I just adopted my first letter. So she's in on the holiday cheer and spreading it. Swirling Glitter says Christmas wishes are about to come true for many families across the USA. This will be so exciting. Well, still ahead, flying with food. Coming up, the Thanksgiving dishes you can and can't take on your flight. And if you're driving to see family, coming up, the car checklist you'll want to go through before you hit the road. And coming up later today at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1, it's Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. Your time now, 11:13 on Fox 45 News Midday. We are back with a live look over the Inner Harbor. The rain we saw yesterday has finally moved out. Look at that pretty sunshine there. It's just in time for everyone to hit the road for Thanksgiving. Coming up, a look at your holiday forecast. 11:15 and making headlines. If you're packing up the car and you're hitting the road to see family this Thanksgiving, you may want to give your car a once-over.
It's always more affordable to do preventative maintenance versus reactive repair.
AAA estimates more than nearly 50 million Americans will hit the road for the Thanksgiving holiday. Many drivers will travel hundreds of miles to be with family, leading to wear, tear, and possible breakdowns along the way. And breaking down during a holiday can leave you stuck on the side of the road for a long time.
The tow companies get very busy during the holidays because obviously we have a huge uptick in travel, and so they get busier, we get busier, and your wait time is just going to be exponentially longer than it would if you took care of it beforehand.
Now, depending on how far and where you're traveling, experts recommend packing a few blankets and some extra food, as well as having a full tank of gas. And if you're flying and not driving, a heads up. The U.S. air traffic control system is in trouble. A new federal report says short staffing, outdated technology, and chronic underfunding is leading to significant flight delays and close calls at U.S. airports. The FAA says it has to shuffle personnel to maintain safety, which slows down schedules and increases chances for mistakes. The report says America's airspace is still safe, but the FAA's problems are unsustainable over the long term. The TSA wants you to know that you can bring most holiday foods on board, but there are certain foods that need to be checked. As a general rule, solid foods can fly with you. Anything that can be poured, spread, sprayed, or pumped, those should all be checked. So make sure your special gravy, your cranberry sauce, your wine, things like that, all go under the plane. Coming up tonight at 4, an alarming new discovery showing just how severe the car theft crisis is in Baltimore. Fox 45 News is demanding solutions from your elected leaders. The 2024 mayoral race is heating up. The major issues facing the next leader of Baltimore. Plus, a deal has been made to exchange hostages for prisoners in the Israel-Hamas war. Why critics argue the agreement will give the terror group time to regroup and attack. 11:18 and now to today's talking point. If you're not careful, instead of giving thanks tomorrow, you could be giving your guests food poisoning. A new survey finds a large number of people fail to follow proper food safety guidelines in the kitchen. 3 out of 5 people say they wash their meat before cooking it. But according to USDA guidelines, you should never wash raw meat because it actually spreads germs. And before you eat at someone else's home, listen to this. 20% of people say they don't always wash their hands. The CDC is also reminding people to avoid cross-contamination by using separate cutting boards for raw and cooked foods. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle. If you can't eat at everybody's home was a person, but you know what? I wash the meat.
What, Patrice?
I do.
Okay, now see, this is one of my things because you know I'm actually safe, whatever we call safe certified. If you wash your meat, Patrice, please tell me you wipe your sink and the area down with bleach afterwards.
I do.
And don't tell me about no apple cider vinegar.
No, I wash the meat in the sink, and there's nothing else in the sink but that, and then I rinse it, and then I put it on whatever platter it's going to be on, and then I thoroughly wash down the sink before I start doing other food prep, and the
with bleach.
Faucet. I don't use bleach. I use Clorox spray,
okay.
and then I take a Clorox pad and clean it off.
Well, that's bleach. That's okay. That's it. Because that's the key. The key is the splash and the thing. So okay, as long as you say that, and I get it. But so enough.
And I wash my hands while throughout the cooking process.
Trust you. Look like you. I trust you. But
so
some people
you can eat at my house.
Yeah, I could trust. But some people you can't trust. Now, some people I love them to death, but I'm not going to eat at their house. I'll just make great conversation. You know,
exactly.
I am so full.
No. That let their pets up on the counter while they cook. That's just
yeah, no, that's too much. And actually, to be honest, our household, we got dogs, and we got that. Our house might have that dog smell, so that's why no one's ever at our house.
But you don't let them on the counter and eat.
No. Come on,
that's
come
different.
on. We're people of a certain age, I think.
That's not happening in our house. All
well,
right.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Same to you, Mark. It is time now for your wild and wonderful weather with meteorologist Justin Chambers.
This is really a pretty shot here from the mountains in Colorado, still showing some actual fall colors there, even though they are getting set to see some snow showers move into the northern Rockies as early as Wednesday night into Thanksgiving morning. So that's what they're getting set for. We are getting set for drier conditions as we head to the afternoon. We will see a little bit more cloud cover and our temperatures hanging out in the mid to upper 50s, which is still about 3 or 4 degrees above average. We'll still feel chilly, especially with some of that wind that will be around on Wednesday afternoon. But overall, not too bad. And our temperatures close to 60 under partly cloudy skies, the wind picking up later into the day. Sun will be up until 4:48 this evening, so those daylight hours continue to shrink as we get closer to the first day of winter. So across central Maryland, mid to upper 50s for Westminster, Cockeysville, and Bel Air, 59 Baltimore City, 58 Chestertown, Stevensville at 57, Annapolis close to 60 today. Up and down the 95 corridor, if you are driving, a lot drier today, especially up toward Philly and New York with those upper 50s around. And our numbers are going to take a bit of a drop, especially as we head into Saturday and Sunday for this upcoming weekend. On our future scan, staying dry through the afternoon, even though we'll have those clouds around. Thursday looks great for Thanksgiving. Any of your festivities outdoors on the patio, you're going to be looking good. Now, Friday gets a little bit more of that cloud cover that rolls in, but overall, we're still staying dry. And then that cold front comes through and drops our temperatures as we head into the weekend. So here's our exclusive 10-day forecast. Mid to upper 50s through Friday, upper 40s on Saturday, lower 50s Sunday, but then those numbers do come back up a little bit. And then by next week, we'll see a string of 40s as we inch closer to December.
All right, Justin, thank you. Still ahead, some safety tips to consider before heading into the kitchen this Thanksgiving. And if you do get stuck, don't worry. Coming up, the turkey hotline that can help answer your cooking questions. And make sure you watch some of your favorite shows tonight on Fox. First at 8, it's The Masked Singer. Then at 9, it's Snake Oil. Then it's Fox 45 News at 10, followed by the late edition at 11. Your time now, 11:22 on Fox 45 News Midday. Don't miss this. If you're cooking tomorrow, once you get the bird in the oven, keep a close eye on it. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says an average of 1,600 cooking fires take place on Thanksgiving Day. That is more than 3 times the daily average. The group is reminding people it is important to stay close while food is on the stove or in the oven. And if you're frying a turkey, make sure it is completely thawed and don't let that happen. Make sure you place the fryer far away from your house, never on a porch and never in a garage. And if you need help in the kitchen, Butterball has brought back its turkey tip line. Butterball's hotline and website can help first-timers in thawing, prepping, cooking, carving, or maybe you're a seasoned pro and you just need some reminders about seasoning your turkey. If you just want to skip cooking altogether, several restaurants are open on Thanksgiving Day. You've got pizza chains like Domino's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut. They'll all be open tomorrow. Most places like McDonald's, Taco Bell, Dunkin', and Burger King's, those will all be open too. Well, don't forget, you can catch The Masked Singer tonight. It's Trolls Night. Rewatch the 3 finalists compete for the Golden Mask Trophy. You can watch The Masked Singer tonight at 8 right here on Fox 45. That's all we have for Fox 45 News at Midday. Be More Lifestyle is up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on. And happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone.
That's right, Patrice, you too. Now, while typically you think of the turkey as the star of Thanksgiving dinner, a recent survey found more people are skipping the bird. Coming up, the alternative foods they're choosing instead. Be More Lifestyles next.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is B1 Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here remotely, along with comedian Ray Diva in the house. Good morning, everybody. Let me tell you right now, okay? Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and not to stretch you out, but a new survey shows one dish could make or break the meal. The survey found 83% of people say it's not really Thanksgiving if cranberry sauce is missing from the table, but Americans don't see eye to eye on how it should be prepared. 40% say they prefer the homemade sauce. The other prefer sauce from the can. Lady T, you are at home. I'm gonna say you like from the can.
Oh, wow, that's a little ghetto. Thank you, Mark. But
wow.
I do not like cranberry sauce. Actually, I don't like cranberry sauce at all. You can take both cans, the one in the can.
What?
You can take the normal one. You can take both of them and throw them in the trash because I don't do cranberry sauce. I can do cranberry juice, though. Can that be the substitute?
Okay.
No? Is that not equal?
That's disrespectful. Ray Diva, I'm curious.
I love the can. The can, it's like a dessert to me.
Exactly.
It's so good. And
we were raised in the hood, and that's what we like. Okay, Lady T, fine.
Yeah, I know, right? We are so ghetto because
we couldn't
that
afford
jelly cranberry was the dessert before the dessert. Like when they made us wait for the dessert, it was cranberry.
That's right. You mix it up. It provides the tart to the mixture.
Yes.
Fine. Okay, we want you to tell it. Do you like cranberry sauce? And if you do you prefer fresh or canned? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the lifestyle tab. You can also vote on our Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, you know how we do it. We'll see what everybody thinks. Now, while you typically think of the turkey as the star of Thanksgiving Day, recent survey found more people are skipping the bird and opting for cheaper, easier to make alternatives. Pizza, soup, and salad polled as the meal of choice among the Gen Z demographic. Many in the age group say they'll celebrate the holiday with a Friendsgiving. Okay.
That is pure blasphemy.
Wait a minute, y'all got some pizza for
Like,
Thanksgiving?
if you bring pizza, you can't cook and everybody hates you. Like, I'm telling you, I can't believe somebody would even think of that.
Well, Lady T, what do you think?
That shows times are clearly hard. If you got pizza at Thanksgiving, times are clearly hard for somebody. I don't want to go to that person's house.
What if they sprinkle turkey on the top? What if they sprinkle some turkey on the top?
No, not even turkey on it. That's nasty. But seafood. If you have a seafood Thanksgiving, I want to be over that person's house. That's the new trend. People are doing seafood Thanksgiving.
Well, because what they're talking about, that sounds like a regular day. Salad, pizza, that's what we have for lunch every day.
That's regular food.
A woman is asking for advice. After being shunned by her husband's family for trying to host her own Thanksgiving dinner, she says her husband's family has never accepted her, and this year things got worse. She says her mother-in-law invited the son and grandchild to Thanksgiving, but said she wasn't welcome. That's when she decided to host her own Thanksgiving gathering and invited all of the husband's relatives. Now the whole family is angry and accusing her of trying to hijack the holiday. Okay, this is a mess. This sounds like one of those things that Ray Diva posts on social media. But Lady T, you come from a big family. This sounds crazy. Help us get through this.
It sounds like nobody in the family like her. It sounds like nobody in the family like her. And she tried to do her own thing. I hope she can cook because they're going to hate her even more if that food is dry and doesn't taste good. So
yeah, she's got to stay in her place.
This is how Thanksgivings are.
Wow. So, okay, Ray Diva.
My family, who has the Thanksgiving dinner is the person who makes the most money in the family. That's how it's been and it will be. If you make the most money, it's at your house. Who has the bigger house?
I love it.
That's how we determine it.
I love it. Well, when it comes to avoiding family drama this holiday season, one therapist recommends you table discussions about what or how much people are eating. You may want to stop talking about the wine since some are choosing to be sober, and avoid asking students about their grades or college plans. Also, don't ask people when they're getting married or having kids, and skip the politics. Wait a minute, this is what the whole conversation's about.
They don't got no grandmama. They ain't got no.
When you say Big Mama want to know.
Big Mama gonna know everything.
Mark, do you have a job this year? Yes, I do.
We gonna gossip about you?
Lady T, what do you think? This talk about avoiding everything. I mean, that's a part of it, right?
Yeah, the insults are definitely a part of making it a great Thanksgiving, but what you need to do is you need to have your clapbacks ready.
That's true.
Oh, where's the man you was with? Where's your man? No, where's your man?
That's right.
Where's your husband?
Lady T, number one. That's right. Have the clapback ready. I love that.
Ready, yeah.
And we'll wrap up with you, Ray Diva. Where are you going to be, and do you have a clapback for Thanksgiving?
My clapback is mind your business.
There we go.
My clapback is keep it cute. Keep it cute. I'm in D.C. tonight for a Friendsgiving comedy show. I don't know the address.
All right.
But hey, you can come to my Instagram page.
All right. Thank you, Ray Diva. Always on top of your career.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving. Lady T, mwah, mwah, mwah. Have fun at Thanksgiving. Still ahead, get the best deals this Black Friday. Coming up, some of the season's hottest toys for kids. But first, take all the photos this holiday season. Coming up, the new tool to make sure your phone never runs out of memory again. Stick around. More Be More Lifestyle coming up.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
It's holidays, and if you're like most people, you'll take tons of photos with family and friends. Julie Miranda is here to share a handy phone attachment to make sure you don't lose any memories because your phone is out of memory. Here's America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
There is nothing more frustrating than when you want to take a photo and your phone says, storage full. Oh, and it always happens at the most inconvenient times. I was just at my godson's wedding and I took hundreds of photos. If I had had the Click Free Pro, I would have loaded them onto this and gifted him one of these as a keepsake of his special day. And the Click Free Pro can store thousands of photos and videos while fitting easily in your hand. You know, other storage options they're bulky, they're expensive, and sometimes you need other accessories to work with different devices. Well, this has a port. Look at this. Look how easily that went in for each device. So you can use it with your laptop or your tablet. It's light and it's a great deal. The Click Free app, this is really cool, allows you to scan old photos so they don't sit on a shelf or a box anymore. And also, this is really cool. I love this little carrying case. It's cute. They come in lots of different colors, just perfect. Right now, we are offering 50% off. Did you hear what I said? Get this, 50% off on the Click Free Pro. So I want you to head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer. And believe me, these are going to go very, very quickly.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Spin Master. The holidays are around the corner, and we all want to avoid hectic last-minute shopping. Elizabeth Warner, a child lifestyle expert, is here to help us check gifts for the kids off our list. As always, welcome, Elizabeth. How are you?
Well, thank you, Mark, for having me.
You know what? You always have the great stuff, so what you got?
All right, let's jump right in with the Cool Maker Pop Style Bracelet Maker. A certain pop star out there has made bracelet making and trading very popular again. Well, this one, my daughters and I say it's the easiest we've ever worked with. No knots, no cutting, no clasps. We simply place the elastics around this cute little bracelet maker, add the beads. There are 170 beads, so we can decide how we want to make it. We push a button, the bracelet pops off. We can make up to 10. We can take the beads off and make them over over again. Now, when it comes to play sets, oh my, Mark, look at this. This is the Monster Jam. Yes, Thunderosaurus drop. Now, you see this giantess, amazing, crazy dinosaur. It's got lights, it's got sounds, but it also has a track that goes 6 feet up the wall. You put your truck on there, you turn the crank, the Monster Jam truck goes to the top, goes down, and whoop, goes right out of that dino's mouth. And when they turn the crank in the mouth, they actually create different tricks. So they'll see different tricks every time. We got lights, we got sounds. It's amazing. Now, when it comes to movies, the Paw Patrol Mighty movie just came out. Kids love it, want to reenact all the scenes. This is the aircraft carrier with all the authentic Paw Patrol Mighty movie details. 2 feet long. We push that command center down. The whole thing opens up. It converts into that cool rescue mode. Lots of different rooms and places to place all of your favorite Paw Patrol characters. So definitely something to check out. Now, Hatchimals Alive Hatchie Nursery. This is adorable. Lots of fun for the kids to play in, multiple areas in there, but we're going to fill up that top cloud with a little bit of water. We're going to tip it over. The water's going to go down the rainbow into that lower pool. And then all of a sudden we are going to hatch our Hatchimals. Once they're hatched, we get to play with them. Finally, I've got to tell you, one of the hottest items out there, this is Bitsy. What is this? A amazing 3D digital pet that we can touch and we can play and we can interact with. We open it up like a jewelry box, then all of a sudden a 3-dimensional digital pet's there. We can touch it. We can turn it from side to side to help it go to sleep. Kids are going crazy for these.
Man, that is so cool. Every time there's something different, and I haven't seen that before. That's amazing. So where can we get more information?
Yes, you can go to our website, which is WernerInfo.com.
Awesome. Always great seeing you. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Take care. Still ahead, it's where Thanksgiving started. We'll take you to Plymouth, Massachusetts, and go on board the Mayflower, too. But first, grab those last-minute Thanksgiving Day ingredients, how you can score big without breaking the bank. Stick around.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Aldi.
Holiday celebrations are starting to begin, and we've got the perfect super chef to help with Thanksgiving feasting plans. Joining us now is Kasim Hardaway, who is teaming up with Aldi to share shopping and saving secrets for creating special holiday meals. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, Mark.
Sure. So what can families look forward to this holiday season?
So understanding the holidays can be a stressful time for families. That's why Aldi is providing all the Thanksgiving and holiday essentials so we as shoppers can enjoy celebrating with friends and family without worry of rising food costs. In fact, this holiday season, Aldi is reducing prices up to 50% on seasonal classics on top of everyday low prices.
And how would this impact holiday menus?
So Aldi is always looking for ways to help customers get more for their dollar, and this Thanksgiving, they want to provide families with an opportunity to focus on what really matters, bringing more people together over the food they love. So Aldi is reducing prices across 70 plus Thanksgiving essentials, including everything you see here.
And do you have a special recipe for holiday buffet or for parties?
I do. This harvest apple walnut stuffing. It includes some interesting ingredients like sliced bacon, butternut squash, shelled walnuts. There's also Chef's Cupboard cornbread stuffing mix. And then if you want a Friendsgiving and family favorite, you can't go wrong with this roasted acorn squash and Brussels sprouts. You take those veggies, roast them until they're crisp, toss them in a citrus vinaigrette with pomegranate seeds and toasted walnuts. It's so good. And there's nothing more classic and iconic than a green bean casserole. You can find the recipe for this one on aldi.us.
Okay, now, you know, we got to talk about my favorite, the desserts. What about a dessert? You got something for us?
I sure do. So apple pie, I feel like there's nothing more classic, more love than that. If you want to save some time, pick up an already made Bakehouse Creations refrigerated pie crust. And there are these white chocolate cranberry blondies. They are very easy to make, and every bite is pure dessert heaven. They are very good.
All good stuff. Now, do you have any other suggestions for the holidays?
Yeah, whether shopping in store or visiting us online, you can find all of your favorite items at Aldi. So pick up some brie, prosciutto, fresh brown and served rolls, cornbread stuffing, green beans, and of course, apple pie.
I love it. I can almost smell the kitchen now. So where can our viewers go for more information?
To learn more about everything we talked about today, including the recipes, plus more holiday deals, visit aldi.us.
All right, my friend, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, take care. Time now for your best weather in America with meteorologist Justin Chambers.
Really pretty picture. This from Matt in Florida, and you can see the nice bird there hanging out with the sun looking good over the water and on the beach as well. Maybe that's where you want to be for the holiday. Maybe we want to enjoy a mix of clouds and sun around here because it will be drier, not a lot nicer day to get outside than what we saw on Tuesday with all of that rain. Breezy and a bit warmer for the afternoon. Those temperatures back into the above average category for the day. Hour by hour forecast will keep those numbers climbing into the mid to upper 40s. So still a little bit above average for this time of year and slightly milder than what we saw on Tuesday afternoon. Our high temps actually came Tuesday night. Across central Maryland, almost 60 in Baltimore and Annapolis, 57 in Bel Air, close to 60 in Elkton with mid 50s in Columbia, Laurel at 57 and 54 in Westminster. Up and down the 95 corridor, we'll see those mid to upper 50s for D.C. and Baltimore, to Philly and New York, 60 in Ocean City, but upper 40s is all we'll get to in Cumberland for Western Maryland. Now, those numbers are coming down as we head toward the weekend. You can see on our temperature tracker, 50s through Friday. Only 40s on Saturday. Numbers come back up a little bit into Sunday and Monday, but notice that stretch of 40s as we head toward the middle of next week. And December is right around the corner, too. Here's our Wednesday future scan. A little bit more cloud cover, breezy to windy conditions throughout the afternoon and into the evening time. Heading toward Thursday, a lot more sunshine. Still a bit of a breeze out there, but overall not looking too bad for Turkey Day. And Black Friday also looking good. You'll see a few clouds, but overall we do stay dry. Not really much rain to track. It was good to get that soaking rain on Tuesday, but we're going to stay dry. In fact, the next 10 days, really no major weather maker is going to be rolling in. It's just those colder numbers that we'll deal with through the weekend and then keeping those temperatures on the chillier side starting Tuesday of next week and all the way through next Friday.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by cplymouth.com.
Plymouth, Massachusetts is gearing up to celebrate Thanksgiving in the very place it started 400 years ago. Historian Richard Pickering joins us now at the Mayflower 2 to tell us about this long-lived tradition. So tell us a little bit about the Mayflower 2, Richard.
Well, it's a full-scale reproduction of the ship that brought the Pilgrims in 1620. And it was a gift to the American people from the British. It was their way of saying thank you for our participation in the Second World War.
So why is the first Thanksgiving at Plymouth considered the very first celebration of Thanksgiving in the country?
Well, Pilgrims love to write about themselves, and they left a lot of documentation. So they wrote a description of a harvest feast in 1621. It disappeared for decades and then was found in about 1840 and was printed in a book. And at the bottom of the page, if you follow your finger down, it says, "This was the first Thanksgiving." And from that moment onward, the town of Plymouth and Wampanoag people are deeply connected to American Thanksgiving.
So, Richard, there are a number of myths surrounding the historic event 402 years ago. Which myth do you have to bust the most?
The fowl that were served, it was duck, goose, crane, swan, turkey. It's just turkey wasn't the bird. It becomes the centerpiece in the 1700s, but it was there. It just wasn't the centerpiece.
Okay, so now you done shut down the whole TV station, man. What? What? Okay, so Richard, what can we do to come visit? When can we come? And, how do we get there? When's the best time to arrive?
Well, I would say that every American needs to be in Plymouth at least one Thanksgiving of his or her life. That to be here in the town where our gratitude tradition started is an amazing thing. If you go to a website called seeplymouth.com, SEEPLYMOUTH.com, that will introduce you to our region and everything going on. But to be here Thanksgiving week, so starting that Saturday, there is a tremendous, spectacular Thanksgiving parade that celebrates Wampanoag history and 400 years of American history. And that starts a week of events honoring the holiday. And it's kind of magical to be here, I think.
It's crazy, Richard. So when I'm cutting the turkey this year, I'm going to be thinking about what you just said. And one more time, give us that website one more time before we go.
It's seeplymouth, SEEPLYMOUTH.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Still ahead, do you love it or hate it? Coming up, the age-old debate over cranberry sauce and if it's fresh or canned and which one is better. Still